My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And whenever you check out a classic movie, it can either go one of two ways. It can either be you understand why everyone loves it and you really like it as well, or it's one of the most overlong, overrated bullfest of a movie. I've watched plenty of classics, some I love, some I hate. So the first time I watched this movie, I don't know which one I was going to get, but thankfully, this is a movie I really like. It's surprisingly very accessible and entertaining. Like, it's not in any way boring. So that's a good sign, and it's very well directed by Milos Forman. The plot is rather simple. It's about a man who tries to play the system and he gets himself in a situation he can't get out of. And the movie reminds me of Shawshank Redemption. It reminds me of Cool Hand Luke about these guys just stuck in the worst of circumstances, but they're trying to inspire hope to others who don't have that hope. And it's a very well done movie in that regard. It's about someone trying to break out of a certain sense of oppression, and it does feel inspiring and emotional in moments. I think the themes of this movie are really well done, and the way that you look at how some of these systems in place operate, how corrupt they truly are. And there's one twist, which I won't get into, at about the 60% mark of this movie, which I actually think adds lots of depth and layers to everything going on about how some people might not even know they're stuck in this situation. I love the conflict between McMurphy and Nurse Ratched. I thought that added some nice tension. And the movie ends on a very effective, hard hitting note. And then you get to the cast, and everyone does a good job here as well. Jack Nicholson is absolutely fantastic. He has so much personality and life, and he just carries this movie incredibly well. But he also hits those more emotional moments when he needs to. You know, you can tell that he's come to care for some of the individuals in this hospital. Louise Fletcher as Nurse Ratched has gone down as one of the best movie villains. And when I watched this movie for the first time, I was expecting a louder, more on the nose performance, and it's quite the opposite of that. She's very good in this movie. She's actually excellent, but it's a very quiet performance and an effective one at that. You've also got Danny DeVito and Christopher Lloyd, both first time performances in this movie. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was them when I was watching the movie. I'm just like, wait, what? Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd? Is this the first performance? And yes, it is. They're fine. They don't have a lot to do, but I thought that was pretty cool. You've got Brad Dourif, Chucky himself, and he's really great here, actually. His performance as Billy is great. And as someone who's grown up with a stutter, he just portrays it perfectly. You've also got Will Sampson, who I think is really great as well. He's just an easy to like character. There's one moment involving Juicy Fruit where you're just like, okay, this guy's great. You've got William Radfield, who's good in this movie. Sidney Lassick, I thought was fantastic here. There's one scene in particular where he's freaking out, and yeah, he really sells you on it. Some of these actors don't get mentioned alongside this movie. It's mainly just Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher, but there's lots of great performances here, and everyone else I didn't mention does a really great job. So I think the movie has got a great story that's exploring some hard-hitting themes. It's got some good emotion. The cast all does a good job. The directing's great. My only real issue with this movie is that the last act does drag on. There's this section where there's a party going on, and it just keeps going and going and going, and then you think the night is wrapping up, but then it keeps going in just this one section. I don't know how long it actually is, but it feels like 40 minutes. It's just terrible pacing, and you're just yelling at the main character to leave already, and you get why he doesn't, but still. And also in the last act, there was one death scene that just happens a bit too fast. You see him 1 second, and then the next minute he's dead, and you're just like, oh, wow, that just happened suddenly. So, the last act, it slightly falls apart, but everything else in this movie is fantastic. It's one of those movies you'd expect to be pretentious, you'd expect to be boring, but you're surprised at just how entertaining it is. It's a great movie about giving hope and trying to inspire others to do more than just what they're forced to do. And I think it's a very good movie at that. You've got a great performance from Jack Nicholson, who's very likable as McMurphy, but I should point out, they tell you what he's done in the past, and the guy is a scumbag. So, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit conflicted on that. That's one thing I think they could have rewrit and not make him as unlikable as he's been described to. But yeah, everything else in this movie is great, so I'm gonna go ahead and give one. Oh, and Louise Fletcher is a really great villain. I can't believe they made a TV show based on this character. Like, talk about missing the point, and just talk about a terrible idea. That just screams Ryan Murphy, and it screams Netflix, just whatever. But now I'm gonna go ahead and give One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin, out.